Gray Zone Warfare is the newest and most hyped game of the current new wave of extraction shooters coming out right now. Where Tarkov is based in Eastern European poverty and alcoholism, Gray Zone is based in epic, tactical, goon, operator, grand thumb, high speed, low drag, with a lot of the game's attention being focused on the Western powers of the world, using ARs for the weapons, body armor you'd see American Special Forces use, and their overall vibe of epic, tactical, grand thumb, Brandon Herrera gun tuber aesthetics the game gives off. The game is set in the island of Not Vietnam, where you'll meet two other epic operator tactical factions. There's three factions. The first of all is the Le Main Recovery Initiative. This is pretty much just a gang hired by a rich guy who got scared. The other two are a lot more aligned with the PMC idea, that being the Mithras Security Systems, who are a PMC of full-on Cheddies that want to Chedlarp around in the jungle for 6 hours a day, and the other being the Crimson Shield International, it's Blackwater. It's just Blackwater. Unlike Tarkov, this game has a pretty big focus on team play. Whatever faction you choose decides the area you start in, the people you'll be playing with. When you press M, you can see your own faction members, like in-game on the map, little blue floor markers. So you can see where everyone's at, what's going on, who's fighting over what. Promoting a much larger sense of teamwork and cooperation. Where Tarkov, everyone just equally evil and angry all the time. It kind of tries to focus a third of the server into killing everyone else. The game is also made up of one massive persistent map, unlike Tarkov's little maps that you have to load into individually. Like in this game, if you die, you can just get a helicopter and go back to your body and pick your stuff up, assuming no one's there to shoot you again. Long distance travel is handled by helicopters in the game, with the map being filled with preset LZs. Now to find these, you have to either walk up on them and discover them manually, or a trader might give them to you for a quest or something. All you have to do from there on is click your little map button, click the LZ you want, and your helicopter will come in, pick you up, and fly you right over there. Now, the issue with this, of course, is people can just sit at the LZs all day, every day. Since they don't move, they're stuck in one spot. You can't land slightly north or slightly south. You're in where you're in. So you can just sit there in a bush for 6 hours and kill like 18 guys all day just sitting there. And while, yeah, you can do the same thing in Tarkov, theoretically. You can just sit in an extract all day. At least in Tarkov, you can look at the extract and walk around it. In this game, if you click at LZ, you cannot see that LZ. It's like 7 kilometers that way. So you just have to sit there and pray. If there's a guy down there, you can try to shoot him while you're flying down. But you're probably dead if he knows you're there. It's just over. The gunplay in this game feels pretty good right now. The main issue is just the hit reg. Sometimes you'll shoot at some scav in the head and then he'll just act like it didn't happen. Or sometimes they take 70 bullets to fall over when you're using like good ammo. But once they figure those issues out, I think it'll be pretty good. It's all animated really well. The guns feel nice to shoot. Everything's really snappy and nice. The medical in this game, it has a similar idea to Tarkov, but it's a lot less hellish. If you get shot, you can pretty much bandage it. If you get really hurt, you just gotta use a CMS to patch yourself up. It's not like Tarkov where your leg will snap and you have to use 7 different things to get it up and then a scav rushes you. Which may not be to everyone's taste. I get the Tarkov absolute just awful everything that game has. I love that game for that. It's just super aggressive and just awful in every single way it can be. At least as far as the gunplay and the medical and everything. It tries to take itself super seriously and give that feeling of, oh, I've been shot in my leg with a shotgun. Now I can't walk and I'm bleeding to death. But this game has a lot less of that. Generally, this game feels a lot more chill. The gunplay and everything, it has less kick and less fighting back than Tarkov has with you. That's generally a pretty good way to talk about this game. It has a lot of the ideas and concepts Tarkov has, but it chills them down a lot. So it's less of a part-time job if you want to do anything. This game also looks really nice. It's a really pretty game. I think it's running on Unreal 5. I haven't checked. I'm too lazy to check. Pretty sure it's 5. So the map looks beautiful. One issue with that, however, one big, glaring, bold text issue. This game needs some optimization. My computer isn't bad. I'm running a 3060 with a 5800X. It's not the worst around, but bro, this game cannot run at all. It is, it chugs. It chugs no matter what you do. I can get above 60 if I throw the whatever active adaptive resolution on with frame generation and all that stuff. I can get 70. Unless I look down to scope, then it's 40. I also had like 2 days where the game just crashed constantly. Like I'll get into a game, it crashed. I'll get on a helicopter and it lands, it crashed. I'll open my inventory, it crashed. It was excessive. And that kind of creates a tear for me with this game. I think once it's done and they figure a lot of the issues out, it's going to be really good. It's going to be really fun. It's even fun now when it doesn't decide it wants to explode every half a minute. But where it's at right now, I don't know. I can't really recommend it. Like, I've gotten to gunfights. I'll put one here where I disconnect while stalking some guy. I reconnect. He hears me reconnect, and he shoots me as I reconnect. It just makes it an infuriating experience. Now, one thing this game does have, right? I feel like they did this on purpose. With Tarkov shooting itself in the foot 700 times this past month, with their $250 Unseen edition, right? How that gives you the PvE mode. That's like their whole thing. It gives you the offline mode. This game has a PvE mode already in the game for not $250. So if you don't want to shoot people like me, it's been too unstable for me. So if I play the game, I don't want to deal with PvP and get cucked again. So I just play PvE for now. You have that option. You don't have to go and fight people in the mud for 6 hours a day. I think that will also bring a lot of people in, because I've talked to people in the past that like the idea of Tarkov or the aesthetics of it, but they don't want to get into a game and just get curb stomped again and again and again and again. This will allow people to get in, experiment with it, see if they like it, without a risk of, you know, some guy just dropping in from nowhere and headshotting them 7 times in a night. I feel like a lot of the issues with the game, though, the crashes, the performance, I think they just released it a bit too early to try to compete with Tarkov and their whole fiasco they're in, which isn't a bad idea. But it's resulted in them dropping it, I think, before it was baked enough to get dropped. I know they're working on stuff now. They just released an update a little bit ago. It's supposed to fix some of the crashing and that stuff. If it does, who knows, but we'll see how that goes, I guess. I've also had issues with the network side of things. Like, whenever I get in, the game rubber bands a lot. It tends to chill out if I'm in for a little bit, but once I load in and try to fly somewhere, it's just like constantly springing me back. When you throw a grenade, it doesn't glide. It kind of chugs through the air until it hits its destination. I'm also just not a big fan of the game's aesthetic. That's 100% a personal thing, but I can only take so much Reddit gun garbage in my face 24/7 with people Modern Warfare tack sprinting around at Mach 5. Which, again, totally a personal thing, but I prefer Tarkov's aesthetic and feel a lot more. But people are like that, where they like that vibe and that aesthetic of the goon tactical operator LARP, so, you know, they'll have a game for that. It provides that feeling and everything a lot better than a game like Ground Branch, where it's just a sandbox with, like, a few maps where you can shoot a guy for 2 hours and then just do the same thing infinitely over and over again ad nauseum. The game is pretty fun, though. If I were you and you want to try it out, I'd buy it before you hit the 2 hour mark, get in, see how the game runs, and then make your decision there. Make sure you don't go over the 2 hours, or else, you know, Steam won't let you get the refund. Maybe, I don't know, I've heard crazier stories with Steam refunds. And if it runs great for you, then there you go. It's pretty fun. If it doesn't, I give it some more time in the oven. I've already hit way over 2 hours, so I'm just gonna grit my teeth and bear with it. But it's not bad. It's really not that bad at all. It's pretty okay. Once this game is finished, I have really high hopes for it. That's really all I got here. When I decide to do something again, I will see you around then. So I'll see you in 7 years. All right, bye.